do this.
Hey everybody, this is Paul Votan Davidson of Atomic Comms here, and I'm bringing you an informational video about the newly announced games Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. Well, they're not newly announced, but Sonic Forces by far is probably the biggest news of this video, as you can probably tell from the title of this video. And I know it's a bit late bringing this up since South by Southwest has concluded over the weekend. So yeah, a bit late, but at the same time, I still want to talk about this. I want to go over the information we have so far, also talk about Sonic Mania, and we'll go from there. Well, first off, let's talk about Sonic Mania. So, Sonic Mania, the not Sonic the Hedgehog 4 game that we're getting, the 16-bit Genesis gameplay that we all know and love, is returning to us on HD platforms, being the Xbox One, PS4, PC, and now the Nintendo Switch, thank goodness. So all we really saw now is, I think right now all we have is a extra zone, that being Flying Battery, the Sonic 3 and Knuckles level, and the second act of Green Hill Zone. So for the longest time we only had Act 1, which seemed like an extension of of the original Act 1, but now you're seeing footage of Act 2, which is bigger. It's taking place in like this little alcove in the mountain area that you'd usually see in the Green Hill Zone level, and it looks pretty nice. Good graphics still, like, of course, because this is an amazing Sega Genesis styled Sonic the Hedgehog game, best looking of the whole 2D lineup, and it seems pretty stylish. It seems pretty finished up so far, and we also learned a little bit about the elemental shields. As you'll be seeing right now, the fire shield can actually burn the wooden platforms you'll be seeing right here, which were the ones that had the thorns on them, which if you touch the thorns you would fall off of the platform and stuff. You can burn them now with the fire shield. And now we're looking at footage of Flying Battery Zone Act 1 from Sonic and Knuckles, now being brought into Sonic Mania, looking better than ever, having some extra little pieces to it. It seems to have a little bit of Wing Fortress Zone, which would make sense because they're both air fortresses. And there's the other part with the elemental shields you saw right there with the electricity shield, where you're actually attracted up to the ceiling where they had those magnetic pieces. Those pieces were, if you guys haven't played Sonic and Knuckles, were meant to raise metallic platforms which Sonic could jump on to access higher parts of the level, which now the extra detail is when you have the lightning shield, they will attract the shield and bring Sonic up with it. So that's another way to traverse the Flying Battery level. The other attention to detail you can see that is newly added to the Flying Battery are the little trash dips that you'll see that Sonic will fall into, where they are actually made out of badniks from previous games. So you'll look closely, there are some moto bugs, there's some caterpillars in there, there's some of the digging robots from Labyrinth Zone. It even has some ring boxes and goalposts in there, so that was pretty funny. Robotic recycles in the Flying Battery Zone. Who knew? The other piece of news that I want to bring up is the fact that Sonic Mania is now getting delayed. Originally it was supposed to come out next month, but now it is getting delayed till the summer of this year, mostly for marketing reasons, I think I heard. There's no real reason that has been confirmed yet, but yeah, it's going to get pushed back until summer, so it's coming. It's going to get fixed up a little bit more, most likely. But yeah, things are looking great for Sonic Mania so far, so if you're looking forward to get that game, remember, coming out this summer for all major platforms, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Nintendo Switch. That is all the information we have on Sonic Mania, but now let's talk about the newly revealed game Sonic Forces. If you guys don't know what Sonic Forces is, if you guys go back to July of 2016, there was a game that was revealed at the 25th anniversary party in San Diego that was codenamed Sonic Project 2017. That is what Sonic Forces was building up to be. It was the trailer of Sonic and classic Sonic running through a post-apocalyptic city, looking kind of like Soliana. Not really confirmed on what city it is yet, but in the gameplay footage you're seeing right now, we get a better look of what it would look like in game. So while the gameplay is only about a little over a minute long, and we only see one level in it, it still reveals a whole lot about what we can expect from the game. As you can see, Sonic is running via Sonic Unleashed gameplay. He has the boost back from those games from Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, and Sonic Generations. The animation is a bit different. The particle effects that were supposed to be, the air particles coming from in front of Sonic and going back as he boosts is a bit different. And while the geometry of the level is pretty straightforward, there seems to be a lot of stuff happening in the backgrounds and in the city itself. So like we saw in the trailer, it is in a destroyed city of no one knows what the name of the city is, but it's currently getting attacked by larger versions of the Death Egg robots that were from Sonic 2. They're firing rockets and missiles and stuff like that. There seems to be meteors crashing into the city, and Sonic is just running through the city, trying to avoid all the rubble and debris and all the projectiles, most likely going to try to disable the robots. But information on the gameplay is not all that we got about Sonic Forces. We also got some tidbits about the technical aspects of the game, the voice acting, and the story. So for the voice acting, Roger Craig Smith and Mike Pollock were at South by Southwest during the Sonic panel and had revealed that most of the voice acting for the game has pretty much been completed. So they're pretty much almost done doing the voice acting. Now for the story, which is actually very interesting, to me at least, it's been revealed that the setup for the game is that Sonic failed to stop Dr. Eggman from taking over the world. This results into Sonic's world being now split into various factions for forces, including Sonic and his friends, Eggman and his army, and a few others that will be revealed later on in the game. Now, the funny thing about Sonic not being able to stop Dr. Eggman from taking over the world. Now, this is actually not a plot point. That's not that original. It's come up in previous games before. Most likely, if you've played Sonic Chronicles, a DS game, which was a Sonic RPG, it was panned, but still, nonetheless, it was a plot point. So let's talk about it. Sonic was having to go to another dimension to fight off an Echidna tribe that was a rival to Knuckles' Echidna tribe. When they came back, it turns out that because Sonic and his friends were absent, Dr. Eggman decided to take advantage of the opportunity he had with all the heroes being gone and take over the world. I've heard from some other YouTubers that I enjoy watching that they jokingly say that this is a sequel to Sonic Chronicles taking place after Sonic came back and Eggman took over the world, which is obviously a joke. They're not making this a sequel to Sonic Chronicles. And while it would make sense, that is because in that game, the reason why Eggman took over was because Sonic was away and not able to keep an eye on Eggman. Whereas in this game, it's supposed to be that Sonic was unable to stop him from, detonating some sort of doomsday device, or, well, that'll be revealed eventually. But for the most part, Sonic was unable to stop Dr. Eggman, and this is pretty much the aftermath of that. Another Joker reference that people would like to bring up are the mention of these other forces that were teased during the panel. It says that there are other forces that will be revealed during the game, and a lot of people are saying that, one of them being the team from Sonic SatAM, which is also the team that is in the Sonic Archie comics. A lot of people are joking that Sally and the Freedom Fighters are going to be in Sonic Forces, which that would be kind of interesting, I would think. I highly think that is unlikely, though, because I'm pretty sure Sega wants to keep the comic continuity and the game continuity, because you got to remember, this is canon to the games, not the comics. So while it would be an interesting little attention to detail, or a sweet little cameo for the fans to bring them in, I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe there'll be a mention of it, or some sort of they'll talk about it a little bit, but I think it's unlikely that Sally and the Freedom Fighters are going to be in there. But aside from that, it's kind of unknown what other forces they're talking about. Perhaps Gun could be one of them. Having a human faction in there, since they are still a pretty major part of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. So it would be interesting to bring them back, since the last time they were ever mentioned in a game was Sonic 06 when Shadow was working for them. and they've pretty much fallen off the face of the earth since then. And they could possibly bring in some new characters, where that actually has been confirmed to be happening. They're going to bring in a new character. They haven't, that was actually discussed way back during the summer, actually, a little bit after the reveal of Project 2017. So at least one new character is going to be showing up. There could be more. They could be animal characters, most likely. But yeah, in terms of what they can do for forces, that's about pretty much it. For the gameplay part of it, there's going to be 3 gameplay styles, one of them obviously being Unleashed styled Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay. And then Classic Sonic came back, so most likely they're going to be using his Sonic the Hedgehog gameplay that we saw in Generations. It'll probably get souped up a little bit more since, if you remember from the ending of Sonic Generations, Classic Sonic learned some new abilities from Sonic, mostly being the homing attack. So that'll probably factor into the gameplay a little bit if they're going to not change it a whole lot. But we'll have to see about that whenever they reveal new details. And then they're also going to be having a 3rd style of gameplay, which is supposedly going to be brand new. A lot of people are joking that it's going to be Sonic Boom Sonic, like from Rise of Lyric. So it's going to be like the open world, beat 'em up, PlayStation 2 styled gameplay that we saw in Rise of Lyric. That's probably not going to happen either, mostly because I think that, like the Archie comics, Sega wants to keep the mainline games from a different continuity from Sonic Boom. So that would be interesting for them to at least bring up. Other people are saying that Sonic Adventure Sonic style gameplay could come back. While that would be really nice, because I certainly like the Sonic Adventure style of gameplay, it's my favorite in the whole series, that probably will be unlikely also. I'm just going off of what they said here, saying that it's going to be a brand new style of gameplay, and so far we've only seen 2 Sonics, so either the new character that I mentioned earlier is going to be that new style of gameplay, and it'll be based off whatever they are, or who knows. I am actually hoping for Sonic Adventure Sonic the Hedgehog style. I know I just said that that's probably going to be unlikely, but I would actually hope that it was like that because, like I said, it is my favorite style of gameplay in the whole franchise, and I just would like to see Dreamcast Sonic come back, have Ryan Drummond, the voice actor for Sonic at the time, come back. He was actually supposed to be in Sonic Generations. They were going to have 3 styles of gameplay in Sonic Generations, but because of some legal issues involving Ryan Drummond's union, they were not able to bring him on to voice Dreamcast Sonic, and therefore they didn't include Dreamcast Sonic, and so we were stuck with classic style and modern style, which is probably better off for that game, mostly because I think there were also time constrictions that were keeping them from introducing the Dreamcast style, and also because I think that game probably would have been kind of a clustered mess, having so many versions of Sonic and also having so many different styles of gameplay going through all the different levels. Because you got to remember, they have to create new levels based on each style of gameplay. So I would hope that they bring back Dreamcast Sonic for Sonic Forces, but like I said, could be unlikely. Who knows? And now for the technical aspects of Sonic Forces. So this could be the most boring part of the video, but I want you guys to still bear with me here because these are actually kind of interesting pieces of information I would like to tell you. So for the engine that Sonic Forces is running on, it is running off of the Hedgehog Engine 2, which is a souped up version of the original Hedgehog engine, obviously, which was originally used in Sonic Unleashed and has since then been brought back in a few other games after that, mostly being Generations, and I believe Lost World also had used it. So the reason why I'm making a big deal about the Hedgehog Engine 2 is because usually when people say that the best looking Sonic game is Sonic Unleashed, that's because it was using the fully optimized, well, not fully optimized, but the fullest, most complete version of the Hedgehog engine. That's because Sonic Unleashed had the best shadow effects in the game, best textures, rendering was pretty good also, and yeah, pretty much it was the best looking Sonic game of the whole franchise because it was using the full version of the Hedgehog engine, which has not been done in a Sonic game since. Like I said, it was brought back in Sonic Generations and Lost World, but the Hedgehog engine was not being used to its fullest advantage. It was not fully optimized for these two games. So they didn't look as good even though they were running off the same engine. And the Hedgehog Engine 2 obviously is going to be a bigger, better version of the original Hedgehog engine. So the gameplay that we've seen so far is in game, of course, and it looks pretty good. The shadows are pretty good. There's a lot going on in the levels. One of the problems with the original Hedgehog engine was actually in the HD versions. Like I said, it was only in the HD versions. Was that in the jungle level, Adabat, there was some technical issues that happened there where the frame rate would drop, mostly because the game was not able to render all the stuff at the same time. You know, if you got a bunch of little pieces of vegetation and stuff having to be rendered at the same time, you're having the Hedgehog engine do all the lighting stuff. The game was lagging a little bit, and there was a lot of frame rate issues. So the hardware really was not ready for the Hedgehog engine at the time. So most likely, if they're actually bringing back this engine, but in a bigger, better version of it for the next generation of consoles, most likely they've optimized it a little bit better. They made it a bit more realistic in terms of, specs and all that. And it's going to be going on the Nintendo Switch also, which is the least powerful console of this generation. So if they're going to be able to get it to work on the Switch, then most likely it's going to look amazing on the PS4 and the Xbox One, especially PC, which is something that Unleashed actually was not on. Unleashed was not on the PC. Most likely if it had a PC version, that probably would have been the best version of it, because PCs most likely would have been able to handle the Hedgehog engine to its fullest. Another piece of background information is that the game composer Tomoya Otani, who is actually the guy that's been doing most of the soundtracks for the Sonic games as of recent, Sonic Unleashed, Colors, Lost World, he's been working on a lot of Sonic soundtracks for a few years now. He's going to be doing the soundtrack and the main theme song for Sonic Forces. And the main theme song is going to be a vocal rock and roll theme song, which is something we haven't really seen since Sonic and the Black Knight. So this is a healthy amount of information we have seen so far about Sonic Forces. Even though we haven't really seen too much of the game and we don't know a whole lot, we still have learned quite a bit about the inner workings of the game and what we should expect. But for what I'm getting from all this is that this is a game of Sonic the Hedgehog in which we are going to be seeing every single aspect of Sonic the Hedgehog come into this one game, if some of my predictions come true. So like that prediction about Dreamcast Sonic coming back, if that ends up coming true, we'll have all three major gameplay styles of Sonic the Hedgehog, a lot of past factions and groups and characters that we've seen in past Sonic games could be coming back. Like I said, Gun could be coming back. Some other characters we haven't seen in a while could be coming back. There's going to be some new roles for these characters to take on. And it's going to be a new take on the Sonic mythos, with Sonic actually losing against Dr. Eggman, because really, every single game we had, with the exception of Chronicles, as canon as that is, even though it's not canon, Sonic has always been Dr. Eggman. So for once, we're actually seeing a time when we lost, and obviously it's against Dr. Eggman himself. This isn't the monster of the week we saw during the Dreamcast era of Sonic, where Eggman would get some random monster, he would use it to take over the world, it would end up betraying him in the end, and then Sonic would have to end up fighting that monster. This time around, it looks like Eggman himself is the big bad here, and Sonic actually loses against him, which is actually a pretty fascinating plot point. So how did Dr. Eggman take over the world? How is Sonic going to be able to defeat him? Who is he going to be teaming up with? What levels are we going to be seeing? Is this going to be another generation's spin-off where we go through different levels from Sonic's past? Is there going to be more of a story to this one than in previous games? How dark and edgy is this game going to be? Because it's post-apocalyptic looking, so it's probably going to be very dark, kind of deep. It's going to be, Sonic has a grimace on his face, looking very pissed off. So, stuff is getting serious. And really, it's making me curious about what is going to happen in this game. How did all this happen? And how is Sonic going to overcome all these obstacles he's suddenly having to face? But that's pretty much all the information we have about Sonic Forces. It's also pretty much all the information we have about Sonic Mania as of now. So this year is going to be a very good year for Sonic the Hedgehog. You know, we have a callback to his 16-bit days in the form of Sonic Mania, and we've had a multi-year-long development time for Sonic Forces. So this is probably going to be the most solid Sonic game we've had in a long time. And it's also going back to the Sonic Unleashed style of gameplay. So that's going to make it even more solid than, probably less glitchy than we've had for previous Sonic installments. But yeah, guys, I'm back to doing some videos about video games and stuff like that. Sorry for such a long wait. I've been having some technical issues, mostly because my capture card, for one, stopped working for some reason. So direct footage gameplay is not going to be available for a while. Kind of sucks, too. I was hoping to do a video about the Splatoon Splatfest test fire that was going to be happening later this week. It's happening 23rd and 24th. So in a few days, that's going to be happening. If you have a Nintendo Switch, make sure to get on for that. Hopefully I'm able to get gameplay footage of that somehow, but who knows for right now. And then also, I'm going to be doing a video about the new Mega Man design, because more information about the new Mega Man cartoon came out recently, and I want to do a video about the newly revealed concept art that we've seen for Mega Man right now, which is a new and improved version of the suit that we had saw earlier in 2016. So it's looking nice. I'm liking the improvements, and I'm still excited for the cartoon, but that's something we're going to talk about in a later video, obviously. So guys, it's good to be back, good to be making videos again. I'm pretty excited for some future plans I'm going to be having for the channel. And like I said, if you guys do want to try reaching out to me, you can always reach me at my Twitter account, which will be listed in the end credits of the video. And like I said in my previous videos, I am actually interested in starting a Patreon for this channel. Because I will be doing reviews eventually, still doing some more vlogs, mostly because I'm getting a setup ready for that. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to comment down in the comment section below, or just check me out over at Twitter and make sure to leave me a message there. But aside from that, please guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. And like I said, I'll be trying to make some more videos very soon. So I'll be seeing you all later. Have a good one, and see you next time.